property that was high on my list of properties to tour. This property is called the Elizabeth. It's located in North Austin at 13500 Lyndhurst Street. If you're looking for luxury, affordable luxury, or mid-tier luxury, I think that this is a fantastic option. Let's go inside, let's take a look so you can see why I chose this property, and hopefully you'll love it as much as I do. From the moment I set foot in the Elizabeth, the first word that came to mind for me was wow. This place epitomizes the wow factor. From the decor to the architecture, no single detail was left unattended. This place says you have arrived. By the way, guys, we're currently in the clubhouse. This space is available to residents for use during business hours. If you're like me, amenities are super important to you as far as luxury goes. So let's take a look and see what they have to offer here at the Elizabeth as it relates to amenities. It wouldn't be Texas without a barbecue. Guys, can we just talk about this pool area for a moment? I was absolutely enamored with this pool. One of the things I loved most was all of the vegetation and trees really gave it a sense of being an oasis. I could see sitting out by the pool, curling up with a good book, maybe having a glass of wine if you're a wine drinker. It's just the perfect place to relax. Alright guys, just to the left here, if you take a quick look, you'll see that we have a beautiful outdoor seating area. I love this seating area. It looks like the perfect place if you wanted to plan a Sunday brunch or maybe a book club meeting, the perfect outdoor gathering so that people don't have to come into your place and ruin your space. And the amenities just keep going and going and going. This was probably one of my favorite spaces here at the Elizabeth. I love the casual elegance here. It's really chic, really refined, but it feels homey at the same time. If you look just to the right, you'll see that there's some artwork. I was here during the pandemic, So it looks like some parents on site may have been using this space for homeschooling. I love the oversized island there that you see with the seating there. So again, another great space for hosting events if you're a resident here. There's just tons and tons of space that, and what's really cool about that is, let's say that you and another guest happen to be hosting events concurrently. There's so many spaces available here that you don't have to worry about overlapping or the space that you wanting potentially being booked, because in the event that there's just another cool space. Oh, and really quick, look at this orange tree. Free oranges. How could you not love the Elizabeth? Can we just take a moment to appreciate the beauty and magnificence of this Austin mural? This absolutely took my breath away. I have to admit that it made me smile in person, and even as I'm recording this video, it makes me happy just to see this. It's absolutely stunning. It was just a really, really cool surprise to see this waiting around the corner. And one of the things that I loved about this space as well, as we exit, if you look just to the right, you'll see that they actually have lockers there. So looks like the perfect place if you wanted to do a sip and paint or maybe host a Super Bowl party. This would be the perfect room to do something like that. Again, the Elizabeth has thought of every single detail. All you have to do is unpack. They've already made it home. One of the things I also loved about the Elizabeth was its indoor package locker and mail center. It can get pretty hot here in Texas, so not having to be exposed to the elements can really work to your benefit. What we're seeing now are the guest bathrooms located in the clubhouse. Check out this really cool Andy Warhol wallpaper and this filtered water station. Alright guys, so I'm about to use a 4-letter word. And that 4-letter word is fitness. Okay, I know it's not a 4-letter word. Work with me, people. But if I were to deduct points from anything here at the Elizabeth, it would be for the gym/fitness center. Now keep in mind, it's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. They have all of the necessary equipment. You have your gym, your free weights, your stair stepper, your elliptical, stationary bikes, and believe it or not, even a ballet bar, which is something I've never seen at any complex that I've visited. The issue for me is that it's a little tighter than I would personally like it to be, especially in this day and age of social distancing. But outside of that, it's perfectly fine. But keep in mind, you can use this as a supplemental gym, get a membership to a larger gym, and you'll be fine. But overall, the gym is absolutely beautiful, just a little tighter than I would personally like it to be. Have you had enough of the amenities? Alright, cool. Now it's time for us to take a look inside to see where we'll be laying our heads. One of the things that I did love most about the Elizabeth was the hotel style living. If you notice, all of the hallways are enclosed, which means that you don't have to worry about being exposed to the elements. And that for me is a huge plus. Welcome home. Today we're going to be touring a 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom unit. Before we go inside, there's one thing I forgot to mention earlier during this video. One of the biggest selling points for me here at the Elizabeth is that it's a 4-story building with an elevator, which is a huge selling point for me here in Texas. Outside of high-rise apartments, you don't often see elevators in apartment complexes, and this is something you will definitely appreciate when the time comes to move in or move out. All right, one of the things that I absolutely loved about the Elizabeth was the arrow-shaped island. That was a pretty unique feature that I hadn't seen in any other apartment that I visited. In addition to that, I also was a huge fan of the mismatched cabinets. If you pay attention here, you'll notice that the lower cabinets are actually a dark brown espresso color, while the upper cabinets are actually a white color. And also in the upper cabinets, you do have some exposed cabinetry. So if there's some really cool things that you want to put on display, this is the perfect place to do it. The stainless steel finishes, the undermounted farmhouse sink, everything was absolutely beautiful. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of, in all honesty, is the flat top range. But hey, you can't win them all, right? And what do we have here? Your own built-in desk. Now, I'm not quite sure about how I feel about having a desk or office space in my kitchen, but hey. Now, one of the things that you'll also have to remember is that this particular unit is not your standard square or rectangular unit. It has some pretty interesting angles here. So when it comes to furniture placement, it will take some creativity. So just keep that in mind when you're actually considering this unit. You notice that the bedroom has carpeting, but the main living areas actually have laminate flooring, which for me is ideal. Now, I love this closet, but I had a love-hate relationship in all honesty. I love the double doors. It gave it a real feeling of grandness. So when you walk into it, so it makes it feel very grand. However, when you step in, you realize it's a little bit shallow, maybe about 2.5 to 3 feet deep. So you don't get a whole lot of walk-in space. But the cool thing is this place has pretty high ceilings. If I had to estimate, I would probably say maybe 12-foot ceilings, 10 to 12, I'm not sure, but they're really high ceilings, and they maximize all of the vertical space in the closets. So even though you don't get a whole lot of depth, they've really made a great use of the space in the closet, so there's plenty of storage space there for you. All right, you guys, that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. Before we go, I want to talk a little bit just about the overall community. Now, keep in mind, if you happen to move to the Elizabeth, we would actually be neighbors. While I don't live here on property at the Elizabeth, I live probably just a stone's throw away from here, so I'm pretty close by. I know the neighborhood like the back of my hand. It's an extremely safe neighborhood. That's one of the things that really inspired me to create this YouTube channel, is because I wanted to sort of give people insight, not just on the place that they were moving, but on the area that they're moving to. This place is centrally located. There's tons and tons of shopping, tons and tons of amenities, and most of all, if you have to go at night, you'll feel completely safe. It's a really great, fantastic neighborhood. I've lived here now for over a year. I absolutely love it, and I think you will too.